welcome everyone back to Mindful Mondays with Laura Cross. I am your host, and I am so happy to have this guest with us today. He truly has a zest for life and a passion for helping others and to help them live their healthiest and fulfilling life. Sanjib Nandi has has lived for over 20 years, spent the last 20 years. He has lived in India, London, and now resides in Wisconsin with his family. And he's combined his knowledge of pharmacology, physiology, and psychology and his skills to help bridge the gap between Eastern and Western medicine. So we're not going to delay any further because I know we have a lot of good information to share with you today. So, Sanjib, I'm so excited, first of all, to have you with us here today. You authored a book also called The Man with Zero Talent. So, for one, kind of curious as to why you chose that title and what inspired you to write it.
That's a very good question. A lot of people ask me this question, why did I choose, the man with zero talent? And, I definitely believe that no human being is born talented. We acquire these talents over a period of time. And when you are, investing your time and energy in improving yourself, you become, better at those things. So, to give a point that any human being can become better at any field they wanted to choose. So, and that is the reason I wrote that book, so that people can get the inspiration and they can be what they wanted to become and become a better version of themselves.
Yes, absolutely. I 100% agree with you. Was there things in your life that, from your experiences and stuff as to that inspired you to put that together besides that belief? I mean, I know you've been through some challenges. I mean, you're all about providing a healthier life and fulfilling life for people, but it's not always easy for people to find that.
Yes, definitely. Just to take you back to my story, like I was born in India and I was a very average student. I did not have any special talent. And I never thought that, I will write a book, any time in my life. That was never in the agenda. So, from 2013 to 2016, I was struggling in my life and I don't know what to do. I was filled with anger, fear, hatred, resentment. And each passing day, I was drowning more and more into these negative emotions. And I was thinking, somebody or something or God will help me. And I was in that state on and off for 3 long years. And by the end of 2016, I knew that I have to do something. Otherwise, this life is going to end. So you can say that I was at the rock bottom. And now I realize that you don't have anything to lose once you are at the rock bottom. You have everything to gain from that point. So I started working on myself from 2017. And I have implemented different things in my life. I started with meditation, as my mind was pulled in different negative thoughts, and I was not able to have a positive state of mind, which led me to dive more into meditation. And I was able to have a calmer state after doing it for 8 to 10 weeks. And I started investing more and more time finding what is actually happening inside my brain. So after doing a lot of research and after implementing different things in my life, like I started walking 10 or 15 minutes every day, which eventually led me to ran my first half marathon.
Wow.
And a full marathon. And I started implementing like healthy eating at the same time. Like I used to overeat a lot, when I was stressed out. And when I started implementing healthy eating, like green leafy vegetables, healthy nuts, fish, those kind of things, it started improving my life, and it brings me to a positive state of mind. And I started doing cold showers at that time, which again was kind of helpful to me. And I can definitely say that that is the thing which I don't like it, but I still do it because of the benefits which I see after I do the cold showers. So it took me, Laura, 3 years to figure it out, how to come out from negative state to a positive state. And once you are in a positive state, how to become a better version of yourself. So, I have invested 3 years. I don't want people to spend 3 years, trying to figure out, what is the best route for them. So I've written a book so that, people have a clear-cut roadmap, what to do when they are in a negative state of mind, how to change themselves, what is the scientific explanation, doing meditation, exercise, cold showers, and how to become a better version of themselves. So that is the whole point, writing the book in the first place, so that people can benefit from my experience.
Yeah, and that is incredible to go from that, a little bit of walking and then running a marathon, and the cold shower. So the cold shower part reminds me of I went before to a cryo spa. If you ever seen the cryo spas where it's like negative something or other degrees that you get in there for like 3 minutes, but you keep turning, and you think people are nuts for doing that, or the Polar Club, but there's also, like you said, there is a benefit to it, and you could probably explain what the benefits is scientifically and stuff, and how that works better than I can. But it's kind of hard to describe. It does put you in a different state.
Oh, yes, definitely. When you are doing a cold shower or a cold, immersion, you cannot think, negatively, or you cannot think of anything else except the cold water which you are facing it. And it has been proven scientifically by Andrew Huberman, he's a neuroscientist, that it increases the dopamine level by at least 2%. If we are doing it for a couple of seconds every day. And once you have finished your cold shower, you are in a highlighted state. You cannot think, you are in a positive state, you are in a refreshed mood, and your energy level is high. So in spite of not liking it, seeing the benefits, people still do it, and those who doesn't do it, they think that it might be nuts doing it, but there are definitely benefits which is associated with cold showers. And there are so many people which has shown that, and it has been scientifically proven.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of athletes that do those ice plunges or the cryo spa kind of thing. So I don't think a lot of people know about it, but yeah, that is definitely one of them. So and you talk about the nutrition and stuff. What part of you bridge the gap of Eastern and Western medicine? Can you go in a little more detail as far as how you're bridging the gap between those two? Because I know there's definitely differences. Western is, if I'm understanding right, Western medicine is more prescription medications, and Eastern is more kind of natural and holistic. And maybe you can go into
Yes.
more detail for us.
So, I don't have any issue with, the Western philosophy. Like, when you are in a depressed state, or when you are in an anxious state, or when you have to treat some kind of ailments, you definitely have to take some kind of, medication to, or medicine to cure it. But again, there is not all the solution, when you are depressed, or having anxiety, that taking medication all the time doesn't help. It's a quick fix. It's kind of putting a band-aid on the problem, but it doesn't solve the problem altogether. So we have to take a holistic approach, how we can solve this issue in the long-term process. And that's where the Eastern philosophy, or the Eastern culture comes into play. Because if you see that meditation has been originated in Buddhism, or in India. And what basically is meditation is in Western culture, it is called mindfulness, to being present at that moment. And meditation is nothing related to religion again. Some of the people think, oh, I don't want it to go to Hinduism or Buddhism. Meditation is a form of exercise tailored specifically for your brain. So it's a form of exercise where you're using, either a form of image or your breath, because, breath is the thing which is always present with you. And breath is the clearest indicator of the actual state of the mind. If you are breathing shallow, it means you are activating your sympathetic nervous system. And when you activate the sympathetic nervous system, you activate your fight and flight response. And which increases the stress hormone in the body. So basically, meditation is just to have a calmer state. And I know that most of the people are skeptical about meditation, that, how, sitting in a cross-legged position is going to make them calmer, happier, or more compassionate. And, I was in that same state. I used to think, what meditation is going to do or, help me in this negative state of mind. But scientifically it is proven, and there is a scientist with the name of Sarah Lazar. She's a neuroscientist. And she found out in her research that 8 weeks of meditation decreases the electrical activity in amygdala. And amygdala is an almond-shaped structure responsible for processing your emotions, or it is also called the fight or flight response, demonstrating far less activity, correlating to your experience of less fear, worry, and anxiety. Moreover, she found out that 8 weeks of meditation decreases the size and volume of amygdala. So it doesn't take long. And when the size of this amygdala decreases, the person feels less stressful or anxiety in spite of living in the same environment. And as Laura, you are aware that fear is the number one reason for not moving in the right direction in spite of knowing what is right for us. And just imagine that doing meditation is decreasing the size and volume of amygdala, which is decreasing your, fear. So, this is something which is remarkable. It definitely takes time. It doesn't happen in a day or two. And why people are more skeptical is they are not able to measure it. It's so intangible. It's like, going to the gym. You go to the gym today or tomorrow, you don't see any changes. You feel tired. You think, what is the use of going to the gym? But when you are doing it on a consistent basis, that is the key. On a consistent basis, you have to do it at least, 5 times a day, 5 times a week, and then you will able to see the improvement in a month and in 2 months. Because, the same thing happened with me. When I started doing meditation, it was kind of a roller coaster ride. I was not able to sit in one position for too long. My mind used to think, I'm not able to concentrate, what is the point of sitting in this position? But, doing it on a consistent basis, helped me, come to this state of mind as of today. So it's a process, which we all have to go through. So, and that is the reason, what I am doing is, connecting the Eastern culture with the Western culture, because there are some of the things which is good in the Eastern culture and some of the things which is good in the Western culture, like eating healthy. Like we can implement, green leafy vegetable. We can use any kind of nuts. Walnuts is specifically preferred for your brain health. You can include fish like salmon, sardines, which are good for your brain health, omega-3 fatty acids. You can use avocado, which is again a good source of, brain health. You can use fruits like, berries, especially blueberries, which is again, very good for, overall health and specifically for your brain health. So, you have to implement these things, slowly and gradually. It's hard to change your life upside down in a day or two. And that is the mistake what everyone day does it. They wanted to change everything. They wanted to start their exercise from today. They want to change their eating habits from today. They wanted to start meditating 30 minutes every day, which becomes so overwhelming. If you wanted to start something, do it gradually and start slow. If you wanted to do exercise, just walk a block today and do, tomorrow 2 blocks and gradually increase it. Same thing with eating healthy. If you wanted to implement something good, just, implement, like, okay, I'm going to have a small portion of a salad today, and I will going to cut down on my sugar. And gradually build on that. Same thing with meditation. You cannot sit for 30 minutes if I tell you to start from today. Just sit for 30 seconds and then build on it. And it's a philosophy which has been used in the Japanese culture called kaizen. Small continuous improvement over a period of time. And I think there is something which says, if you're improving yourself by 0.1% every day, if you see in a year, you are improving yourself by 37%, which is a, humongous, proportion. So we can, do a lot of things. We can do a better version of ourselves. But the only thing is we have to, start slow and gradually build on that.
And you mentioned a couple of good points there. I think for one, most of us go around in some kind of, fight or flight response, afraid of this or afraid of that, which causes all kinds of stress. And like you said, meditation, I think, really helps connect the mind to the body, because it is all one. It's not you're either taking care of your body or you're taking care of your mind. You have to take care of it all together. But in our culture, as for most people that I know of in the US, we want everything yesterday. It's like we took years to get there, but then we want it fixed in a day, and it doesn't happen. I think we need to give ourselves some grace, maybe, and some patience, and just start working slow and just, I always say, celebrate your wins, So even if you did something for a little bit, celebrate it. Don't look at it as, oh, this isn't working. But again, like you said, consistency, you really need to stick with that in order to see the improvements. Otherwise, you just kind of gave up on yourself.
Yes, definitely. And again, what we have to see is, how you are improving. The point is, in this, busy life, we start comparing our life with somebody else. We see a post in the social media, oh, somebody is doing so great. You don't know, what is their life experiences. You have to see, what you are doing and how you are improving. Don't compare your life with somebody else. You can be, as much successful as you want, but you will never be happy when you are, comparing your life with somebody else. It's your journey, and you have to, take the necessary steps to, start living a better life for yourself.
Yeah. I think when you're in a better space yourself, you can be better for others, because there's a lot of us that like to help others, but you can't truly help others unless you're taking care of yourself and you're being mindful of that. So yeah, the whole mind, body, the meditation, I know we're going to have to cut to a commercial break here, but you are the founder of LUVO, and it is a free app that you have for everybody that helps them with vibrational meditation, correct?
Yes.
So, and has a whole lot more. So we're going to let you know how to get to that free app and experience that to help you live a healthier and more balanced life right after these commercials. And we'll be right back.
Hi there, I'm Dawn Livingston, your host on the Transcend and Succeed show. Join me Fridays at 2 p.m. Central for limitless inspiration and ways to help you transcend your limitations. Tune into the Achieve TV network and the Voyage to Vitality channel. Transcend and Succeed show, right here on A360 TV.
Welcome to LUVO. Introducing live sessions for meditation, yoga, healthy eating, and gratitude. Tune in with our meditation music for health, happiness, and success. This all-in-one app has smartwatch integration to check your health vitals. More than just an app, it's a lifestyle. Download our free app and start living your best life.
And we are back. So first of all, you are the founder, like the designer of LUVO. How did you come up with the name LUVO, or what does that stand for?
Wow, that's again, a long story. When I was thinking about the name of the app, I was searching for different names, and I was not able to figure a good name. So, it took me, 3 years, to try to figure out, okay, what should I name? Because I want it to be, short. I want it to be, attractive. I want it to be, so that people can remember it. And I saw LUVO and I saw the name, in my sleep. I dreamt the word LUVO. I never heard about this word. I don't know the meaning of this word. And when I woke up, I Googled the word LUVO. What does it mean? And it means to love yourself. And I thought, okay, this is the name which I'm going to give to the app. That was it.
I was going to say, it almost reminds me of like love and then O for others. Having a military background, I'm used to acronyms. So I always try to, like, when I see stuff like that, it's just my nature to try and, figure it out. But so tell us more about this app. First of all, I know it's free. So anyone watching can scan this QR code. It will take you to Sanjib's website, Zest to Live. But, I think it's awesome. There's a lot of things out there, and we are all attached to our electronic devices today. So maybe tell us more about the app and what all it does.
So LUVO is a free app, and anybody can download it from the Play Store or the App Store, or they can scan the QR code from here and they can download it for free. So when you download the app, there is a questionnaire or a quiz. So once you answer those questions, it will tell you on which level of meditation you are. And the app has 7 colors at the same time. So suppose if you are at the bottom level or level 1, the app color will be red. And when you are at the 7th level, the app color will change to purple. So as you are progressing, your meditation, the color of the app is going to change. So we have divided meditation into 4 sections. Meditation for blocked chakra or blocked energy, meditation for manifestation, meditation for high performance. And there are definitely, live meditation, which we also do. So, when you are doing meditation for blocked chakra, we have used, frequencies from 396 hertz to 963 hertz. And we are giving vibration from 100 to 200 hertz from the, palm of the hand. So you have to keep the phone in the palm of the hand, and the phone is going to vibrate a frequency. So what we are saying that, when you are using the audio frequency and the vibrational frequency, it enhances your, meditation. And, I will definitely tell your users to try it. So, this is one of the things which we have implemented. There are guided meditation, there are unguided meditation. Then we have, exercise, because, we have taken a holistic approach to life. Meditation is one of the steps, but meditation is not going to change your overall outlook of the life. If you wanted to become a better version, we have to implement different things in your life. And exercise is one of the things which has been proven that it improves your mood, and it increases the dopamine, serotonin, endorphins. So we want users to exercise. It can be walking, it can be jogging, or it can be anything you like. It can be yoga too. And these all things is kind of a meditation. When you are walking, it's kind of you are doing a walk meditation. When you are doing yoga, it's again a kind of meditation. When you are going to church, it's a kind of meditation, because when you are going to a church, you vibrate at a higher frequency, you feel different. But the thing is, we cannot go to in these houses of prayers all the time. We go once a week, or every month once. When we come back to home, we feel the same thing, because we are not going as often as possible. So that's the reason you have to implement something in your life which will help you vibrate in a higher frequency. And these apps comes into play. And and so meditation is one thing, then exercise is the other thing. The third thing which we have is water intake. As you're aware that our body is made up of 70% of water. And if we are not drinking enough water, it can make us dehydrated, which can lead to depression and anxiety. So this app is going to remind you every 1 or 2 hours that to hydrate yourself. And it will keep a track also, like you can have a analysis of daily water intake, weekly water intake, and monthly water intake, how much water you are drinking. Same thing with the exercise. You have all the data in one place. And the fourth section is about sleep. The app is going to measure your light sleep, deep sleep, and REM sleep, how well you are sleeping, because sleep is again very crucial to keep us happy and healthy. One day if you're not able to sleep, it can change your mood drastically. And you can connect your smartwatch, like if you have a Apple Watch, or you have a Fitbit or a Garmin watch, you can connect those watch to the app. So what happens that all the data is coming from that watch to the app directly. So you don't have to use two different apps. Then we have, like mood, checks every day, how you are feeling. In the home page, we have, all your data in the home page, like how many steps you take the previous day, how much water you drank the previous day, your mood checks. You can check your heart rate, and how many hours you slept. Then gratitude is again one of the important things which we have to cultivate. you know Gratitude or happiness is something which doesn't come naturally. At least to me, I can say, I have to cultivate the habit. I have to think about it, and then I have to implement in my daily routine. And then after a while it becomes natural, rather than seeing what is not good in our life, see the things which is good in your life. And if you see generally, most of the people are happy with 90% of their life. Only the 10% they are not happy, and we bog on this 10%, why this is not going my way, rather than seeing what is good in your life. You have a house, you have food in your table, you have all the luxuries. you know we are living in this world where all the luxuries you have, which you cannot think of in the previous years. Even if you were a king, he don't have the luxury of passing his time watching a TV, or swiping left to go for a date, or swiping right to order food from a fast food. So we are living in this age where we have all the benefits and luxuries. So rather than being not happy, see what you have in your plate, and be, thankful and mindful that how you can make your life better. So gratitude is one of the sections. Then we have, live sessions, which we have every single day. Like we have live sessions for meditation, we have live sessions for yoga, gratitude, healthy eating. So, there is an expert who is there every single day for 20 to 30 minutes, giving you advice, doing live meditation so that, you can implement in your daily routine. And this all comes, free of cost. But what I'm realizing, Laura, that if you give everything free, people don't appreciate it. People think, okay, it's free, it means it is not worth it. I'm realizing it after 2 years that okay, you should charge some money because people are not appreciating what I have given for 2 years. I wanted to help people. I wanted to live people to live a happy and healthy life, because I have gone through that phase where I was depressed. I was so negative that I don't know what to do in my life. I don't want others to go through that phase. And that is the whole purpose of writing the book, or launching this app.
Yeah, you and I are a little similar that way. I mean, my whole reason for, doing Mindful Mondays and doing these interviews is to let people know that there are holistic ways and there's a whole line of support out there. I lost my husband over 18 years ago, and, I don't want people to feel stuck. I don't want them to have to take so long or to go through what I do. And I know from my own experience, the more I've practiced self-care, the more it helps me and be mindful about, the more it helps me deal with those tragic situations when they do come up, instead of being floored and hit with it. But yeah, there's so many things that you mentioned and stuff in there too. But God, and now just kind of flew out my head. But I mean that's the whole thing. So for one, is finding time. And I will tell you, I'm glad to know I'm not at the bottom, because I did download that app. And it says I'm going to be yellow for right now, so I'm not red, I'm yellow. But we're getting there. And so it's something I plan on incorporating in the morning. I did connect my Fitbit to it. I haven't seen whether it'll connect, because I actually don't wear my Fitbit when I sleep. I have a sleep number bed that tells me all of that stuff. But yeah, it took me a long time, because even from working from home or everything, you're exactly right. For some reason, when you offer something for free to people, there is a small percentage, 1 to maybe 5% if you're lucky, that will actually utilize it, do it, and say, hey, this is fantastic. I don't know if it's because we're just so used to everything having to cost something. It is something in that mindset that just, for whatever reason, it's like, if you don't have skin in the game, then, oh, it's okay. You shove it aside. You've had some psychology background. Maybe you can explain that better. It's not something that I understand, because I've had a business before where people could, start for free and they could start making an income, and they just did absolutely nothing with it. And it totally boggles my mind.
Yeah,
So
means, my point of view was always that I wanted to give it free. But, as the days are going by, I'm thinking, people don't see the value. If you're giving it free, they think it is not worth it. If you, attach a value, and maybe, a higher value, then people think, okay, this is worth it. And I know personally that, putting a higher value doesn't make it, worth it. We think it, it might be in the, the way we are brought up, it might be in the psychology, but, it is not how everything works.
it's not. And I mean, we're bombarded by so much negativity in the world, the news, the stuff all over, social media or whatever. It's refreshing to have things that are positive, that can help you be more positive. And that's kind of when, like you were talking about being giving gratitude, that is not something that a lot of us naturally do.
Yeah, yes, it doesn't come naturally, because, we are not programmed to be, grateful for what we have. By default, we are made to think negatively. And, our psychology is built in such a way that, that we think about our survival. The brain, if you see the brain, it weighs only 2 pounds or 3 pounds, yet it consumes 20 to 25% of the energy. And the role of the brain is to keep you safe. Anything which is challenging or anything which is hard, the brain tells you not to do it. So, it is against, what we wanted to do in our life. If we wanted to achieve something, the brain is the first obstacle we have to overcome it. And how do you overcome this, brain? Through meditation, through yoga, because as you see that, this brain is very restless. It can be, my brain, it can be your brain, or it can be Elon Musk's brain. This is restless, and we cannot think about, multiple things at the same time. And we cannot think of one thing for a longer period of time at the same thing. So what meditation does is it decreases the internal chatter and, improves the focus and concentration. Because, we go to school, we study maths, science, arts, everything. But nobody taught us how to focus and concentrate. Because, focus and concentration is the, basic tool to achieve anything in life. You can be a scientist, you can be a professor, you can be a teacher, you can be, athlete. You need focus and concentration to achieve your goals. So what meditation is doing is, it decreases the internal chatter, because we go through, 60 to 70,000 thoughts per day. And 90% of these thoughts are the same as the day before. And 80% of these thoughts are negative. So what we have to overcome is first our own brain or the mind. And, this mind, if you see in the, in the Eastern culture, it has been compared to a drunken monkey. Why? Because, monkeys jump from one place, one tree to the another without any purpose. Same thing with our mind, it is jumping from one thought to the other, thought without any purpose. But the same mind, when controlled and subdued, can make your life, a happy place. And that is, I think, the first basic necessity which has to be taught in the school, how to focus and concentration. If you have learned that from early childhood, you can accomplish anything what you wanted to do.
Yeah, I agree. I think a lot of us would call it, head trash, or brains are not much different than, computers. If you put garbage in, you're going to get garbage out. But what would your suggestion be for people that have that constantly busy mind, where they don't feel like they can just sit for a few minutes, or they don't clear the chatter out, to start meditation? Or what would be your suggestion to start that, to help quiet that down? Because there's a lot of people I know that just you have trouble shutting it off. You feel like you should be doing something else, but you need to do this, and it's kind of like its own little struggle.
Yes, means again, there is a scientific explanation, what happens, and why you are not able to, stop your, internal chatter. There are different brain waves which we have. I will just explain it briefly. We have 5 kind of brain waves. And these brain waves depends upon, what we are thinking, the emotions and the behavior. So delta waves is when you sleep. When you wake up, those brain waves change to theta waves. And 10 to 15 minutes after awakening, it changes to alpha waves. And when you are doing a goal-oriented job, it changes to beta waves. Like, when I'm speaking with you, or, anything, goal-oriented, or when you are going to work, it's beta waves. And we stay in these beta waves most of the time. And what happens is people are not able to switch from beta waves to alpha waves to theta waves to delta waves to go to sleep. Once you are in the beta waves, you cannot go to sleep. So what meditation it does, it helps you to change your brain waves, and it increases the activity of alpha and theta waves. and it has been scientifically proven by EEG. So meditation is one of the ways to change your brain waves so you can, stop the internal chatter. And everybody is different. I don't say that you have to do meditation. You can do, like you can go for a hike. It is again a form of meditation. You can go for a walk. In nature, it is again a form of meditation. You can go to church. It's a form of meditation. You can go for a jog. It is again a form of meditation. So one formula doesn't fit everyone. So you have to choose what fits in your schedule and what you are happy doing it, because if you are not happy, you cannot do it on a consistent basis for a long period of time. You have to be comfortable. You feel like doing it every single day, then only you can sustain it, and then only it is going to help you.
Yeah, absolutely. One of my things is going outside. If I get tired of being inside, being in front of a computer all the time, have beautiful outdoors, birds, critters. I just like listening to the wind between the leaves and the trees and watching the critters and the birds go around. So it's kind of one of my happy places besides music and dancing. I have other things, but that's
Yes, means as you mentioned, going out in the nature, listening to the birds is very peaceful. And, I do sometimes because you cannot, sit inside, you cannot meditate all the time. But those are the things which helps you. Music is one form of, changing your state of mind. You know, listen to any kind of, music which you like, dancing, arts, drawing, painting. There are so many things which you can pick from.
yeah. So essentially, we're talking about doing something that just at least dumps your brain or switches it to just focus on something else and not keep what I call banging your head against a wall because you just got so much there, you just don't get anything accomplished.
Yes.
So, but that's wonderful. You've also, I thought this was kind of interesting too. You've also written some songs.
Yes.
You
So,
have one, I think it's called Rise from the Ashes, and some others that are on Spotify.
yes, again, I never thought that I'm going to do any of these things, what I'm doing today. So, when I started changing my, self transformation journey, rediscovering myself, different doors start opening for me. Because, it's the law of nature. When you are, putting your efforts, time, and energy in improving yourself, there is definitely greater than ourselves. You can say God, you can say spirituality, you can say higher powers, whatever you name it. There is definitely something which is stronger than ourselves. So different doors started opening for me. I wrote a book. Then one day a few lines came in my head. I started writing it, and it made a song. I thought, okay, I have something in the paper. Why shouldn't I try making a song out of this? One song led to the second song. Second song led to the third song, and now I have 25 songs in Spotify. I sang a couple of songs myself. Again, it is very strange. I never thought that I have a good voice. I never thought that I can be a public speaker because of the voice which I have. Those are the, internal blocks which I have. We always think, I'm not good at this. People think, oh, I'm not good at maths, or I'm not good at public speaking, or I'm not good at, handsome, those kind of internal blocks every human being has, and I have to. But we all have to overcome it, because it's not a competition between you and me. You are definitely a better speaker than me, because English is not my first language. It is my third language. But it's always what I can do to improve myself. And that led me to write a couple of songs. And the first song is basically about my life journey, like to rise from the ashes. And every human being has the ability to change their life. And why I am saying it, because I am not capable of doing what I'm doing today. I did not have the capabilities, I did not have the skills to do it. And if I can do it, Every human being in this planet is capable of doing much more than what I have done. And that is the reason I wanted to become a speaker, that there is possibilities for you as well. I did not have, you know, a possibility in my brain that I can do anything. If I can do it, just keep trying it. Just keep your best foot forward. Don't think about, where you are going to reach. Just put your best foot forward. See, how far you can reach it. It is going to make you happy, healthier, and successful.
Well, I will tell you, you're not the only one that has struggled with that. I started doing this. Everybody's like, "Oh, can I do this? Can I be?" I'm like, okay, you know, I'm passionate about doing this, but I was never crazy about my own voice or being up there. Or we all make mistakes. I used to get so uptight about it, and I realized that we are much harder on ourselves. That other people actually appreciate, and it's real. I mean, we can be authentic. I'm not gonna, you know, you have to be who you are.
Oh,
But
yes.
I think you're absolutely amazing, which with all the stuff you've done, the app you've invented, the songs, that's why I was really surprised at the title that said The Man with Zero Talent, because to me, you seem to be quite talented. It may have taken you some time to get there, but I personally think it's very impressive.
Thank you very much, Laura. I do appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. So we still have a few minutes, but so we want to make sure that everybody, I put the QR code back up. Definitely want to visit zest2live.com and download that LUVO app. Like you said, it's free. You have nothing to lose for it. It's just a matter of creating the time, and the space to do it, because we all want people to manifest their highest self and be more positive. But what else would you like to share with everybody? I mean, and actually what I'd like to know is what is next on the horizon for you? You've done all of this. What are your goals, or where do you see yourself in,
It's,
say,
it's,
next few
it's,
years?
it's a very loaded question, Laura. What
It's
I
okay.
wanted to do means I wanted to still do a lot of things. I wanted to, dance. I like dancing, so I wanted to, learn dancing. I used to play, an instrument called tabla. I haven't played it for 30 years. Wanted to, again start, learning it and practice it, much more often, because, those are the things which makes you happy. You have learned it, you have left it so, long behind, and you wanted to again reconnect with those things. So, dancing, playing the instrument, pushing myself to the edge, because, I was very fearful of everything when I was a child, or even when I was an adult. I used to think, should I try, should I not? The fear was always there. Now, in spite of that fear, I try different things. In spite of having the failure, I'm not worried about failure any longer in this point of life. So I went to Africa to climb, Kilimanjaro. Means I was not successful in reaching the top, but I have reached a point where, I was able to conquer my fear of heights, because I was scared of heights too. So, you know, I wanted to go and try climbing Mount Everest one day. I don't know when, I don't know how, because I don't have the skills right now to do it. But I know that if I put my mind and my efforts, I'm going to learn it and I'm going to give it a try. Even if I fails, it doesn't matter, because the greatest satisfaction lies in trying it and putting your heart and soul. Okay, I have tried it, because 20 years down the lane, I shouldn't be regretful that I did not try it, because sometimes that feelings lingers in your heart. Oh, I should have tried that. I don't want to have that feelings 20 years down the lane. If I wanted to do it, just do it. People are still going to laugh at me. They still do it. And even if I, don't do it, they will still laugh at. So it doesn't matter to me. Let them laugh at and let me do what makes my heart sing.
Absolutely. And that, I think, is one of the most important messages for anyone. We're always so worried about what other people think and judging us, but who cares? It's about you and what makes you, it's your life to live. So it's about you and making you happy and living your best life, whatever that is.
Yes,
So
definitely.
I totally agree. Well, I want to thank you very much for joining us today. Guys, make sure you check out the app here. Like you said, it's free. Download it. And is that the best way for people to connect with you is through your website, or how?
They can connect with me through my Facebook page, The Man with Zero Talent. They can go to the website. Means I do have a YouTube channel called LUVO Productions. I have all the songs, uploaded there. So if somebody wants it to listen to those songs, because I write inspirational songs. So that is, where I feel comfortable. So I write the songs so that people get inspired in their life and they can do much better what they are doing today. So, YouTube channel. So those are the few platforms they can connect with me.
Wonderful. And you are truly an inspiration. And I want to thank you for joining us today. For everyone watching, so anyone that wants to watch this episode or the others, you can also make sure that you go to the YouTube channel at Mindful Mondays with Laura Cross. You can catch up on all those. Click like and subscribe, turn on those notifications so that you can replay this at any time and catch all of our episodes. But until then, we will see you next week. And remember to be mindful. We'll see you next week.